Newsflash, put in an offer. Herzlich willkommen zurück auf Schalke America. Here we are. Hopefully everyone having a nice holiday weekend here in the United States and wherever you are in the world listening. So right back into the news. Well, the biggest talking point, I think, amongst some Schalke fans, especially the ones attending, is gas prices. Beer prices have gone up 50 cents, I should say, 50 cents. So now it's $5 or $5.10 euro, which is a substantial hike, I would say, for a beer prices. So the price has gone up in Velton's arena. Not many people are happy about that. Amongst other things, the quality on the pitch is not that great, but now we got to pay more for beer. So people are a little upset about that. But yeah, you know, hey, lighthearted news to kick off the show tonight. So some other news. There was an indoor tournament of sorts. I think it was like a charity thing where Schalke, kind of a like special event, indoor soccer game that went on, where Lucas Podolski was on the visiting team playing against, you know, Schalke team, if you will, and the Schalke fans were not too happy with Lucas Podolski, booing him quite loudly. He didn't take too kindly to that and gave it right back to the fans, and then got more and more heated up. He may have done one of these numbers here to the fans, got pulled away, but ultimately they asked Lucas Podolski after the match how it was like. He's like, hey, it's all in fun, man. I don't care. As long as people are having fun, I don't care. So he doesn't seem like he took it too seriously, but certainly got the fans riled up in that one. This happened yesterday, I believe it was. I think Schalke won 7-2 in that encounter there. So, all right. So now some of the team news. Darko Cherlinov, right? The guy we all want to have back at Schalke. Well, the latest rumors is that we're still looking for a loan plus an option to buy for Darko Cherlinov. Newsflash, put in an offer. We talked about this last week where we kept talking, hey, we want this, we want that, but no offer has been made. Make an offer, let them negotiate it, and then go back and forth. Don't wait till the end of the window and they're like, oh, it's too late. No, like, are the real intentions here? I don't know. We'll see. I question, you know, whether he's fit enough to play, how much he's going to cost. If you do the loan plus option, you don't necessarily need to buy him, right? If it's a loan plus a mandatory buy, well, it could be difficult, especially if we stay in the Zweite Liga. So, to be determined. What other news? Karel Gerards had a press conference, and it says the reporter asked him, what does he want during this transfer window with Marco Wilmots is in charge with the sporting director. Surprisingly, his answer was, I'm looking for an attacker, either a winger or a striker, but I want an attacker, especially on the right-hand side. What drew my ire, I guess, is that he said that defensively, we're well-positioned at the moment. What? Do what? Defensively, we're well-positioned? Have you not watched our games since you've been in charge with us? This is our number one weakness, is the defense. We can't stop anybody. If we had a strength, it would be the attack. So, I mean, I get he wants more people in the attack. Especially we want, you know, attacks from the left side and the right side. Seems like Terodde is really getting to the swing of things now. But defensively, we're well-positioned. I don't know about that. Maybe he's been impressed by Baumgartel. I know he's been impressed by Baumgartel's mentality with not being a starter. He just continues to push and tries to push for everybody, makes everyone accountable in practice. So that's, I guess he likes that. Some guys are starting to get healthy now, so maybe he likes that. But to say we're well positioned defensively, nah. We are not well positioned defensively. Speaking of defense, Ralf Fährmann, recently Gerards came out and said that, you know, yes, I know Marius Müller is getting healthy, but my number one will remain for the time being Ralf Fährmann. Hey, it's a very bureaucratic response, right? You don't want to ruffle the feathers of Ralf Fährmann. But, excuse me, Marius Müller is better than him, but right? But it's fine. Fährmann's been fine. Fährmann's doing fine. And Fährmann said that he appreciates Gerard's trust in him, and I think that is, you know, confidence goes a long way. And I think, you know, having a Fährmann who's fully confident is going to only do good things for the team. We've seen him when he's down, and it's just a nightmare. But when which he's been lately, he's been really good. He's not been a reason why we lost in any of these games recently. So I can see why Gerards doesn't want to mess with it too much. Talk about some team news now, some player news. Leo Grimal, he's back in individual training, as is Asan Odrago and Sebastian Polter. All of them training individually, but none of them are quite ready to play just yet. We figured Odrago would be some time. Grimal we thought would be a long time, but it looked like he's already training individually, and Polter also as well. All three of them, I think, especially the last two, Grimal and Polter, we were more surprised than not. At least I am. I thought there would be more lengthy injuries, but they're back training, at least individually, so they're getting closer. Players that are ready, though, Kabadai and Lasme, they were training with the team recently. Today there was a video actually on Schalke's social media showing the two players training with the team. They'll be game time decisions. Gerards is probably going to be smart about it, not really rush the players into the starting 11. I know some people are asking, I don't know if it came from Gerards exactly, but who would be a good ideal pairing for Simon Terodde? We all love Kiki Top, right? Papa and Son, the young and the old, the quick versus the strength, right? But Gerards is quoted as saying, maybe Lasman could be a good second striker to Simon Terodde. I think we all believe Lasman is for sure not a striker, but on the wings, he's more versatile that way. His strengths are one of his pace for sure, and so and his footwork too, especially on the wings. So I think you put him there, it could work. But as a second striker right behind Terodde or right alongside Terodde, I don't think so. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to rush to judgment just yet. See how the team does. We have to perform a lot better. We got Hamburg coming up on Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's the late game on Saturday. We'll see what we get. We got to play well. That's the bottom line. Speaking of playing well, Blendi Idrizi is a guy who's been playing well lately, and Gerards has noticed him, and he's become a pivotal player for Karl Gerards. Gerards mentioned in an interview, I think, it was a training camp in Portugal, and they asked him about Idrizi's improvements as of late, and he said, pretty pointedly said that, when I first joined Schalke, many people warned me about Idrizi, saying he had a negative attitude. It was difficult to coach, but Gerard says he's seen nothing of that. He said all he does is train hard in practice, pushes other players to do better as well. In games, he's playing a lot better. Week by week, he's performing. That's what more can a coach want? And so whether that's true or not, why Idrizi has always missed out, Jack and I have always talked about, hey, Idrizi needs to play because good things happen when he plays, for the most part. So whatever you want to call it, Idrizi has been showing up for Gerards. Hey, sometimes you get a new lease on life, new manager comes on board, you get a chance to start from zero, and maybe Idrizi's taking advantage of that. I don't know, but it seems like, Blendi Idrizi is part of Gerards' plan at the moment, and, with Drexler's play kind of tapering off, at least in the starting 11 role, it makes sense. He suits up perfectly in that midfielder role, and I think, hopefully his confidence continues to boost, and he can only do good things for us, I think, going in the future. So this last week we did live off that we had a friendly coming up the day after our last video. I was against Recreativo de Huelva. It's a Spanish third division team. We played them. The game wasn't too inspiring if you're a fan. I'm sure not the team as well. We drew that game 1-1. Simon Terodde got a goal in that game. I believe it was him. But anyway, 1-1 wasn't the greatest results for us. We had a game this weekend again, our last friendly, against Belgian side in the top division, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name at the moment. But we won 3-1. 2 goals from Terodde, including 1 goal. If you haven't seen this, is a wonderful one-touch team goal. And this is what Gerard's going to provide. Hello. Playing against the top division side and then making the one-touch passes. I mean, there's probably 10 one-touch passes. And then ultimately, Karaman slides an easy tap-in for Simon Terodde. First goal of the game. I think the first goal of the game. So Terodde would get a second one later. Idrizi got a goal as well. So 3-1. Good way to end the preseason. The mid-season training, whatever you want to call it. Mid-season friendlies, the Winterpause friendlies. So 3-1. Finished for the record of what, 1-1-1. Maybe I think we had maybe a fourth friendly in there. I don't know. So either way, nothing that we saw in a Portugal training or thereabouts that would say, hey, we've made great strides forward. I don't know if we could say we had any setbacks at all. But it's interesting to see. We got, like I said, the game against Hamburg. The more important game is next Saturday. The top of the table, or near the top of the table. It'll be a big game for us. We want to continue the momentum that we've been on. Try to get away from the relegation zone as best we can. And hey, if we collect points, continue to collect points, who knows? Maybe there's a chance for promotion. Maybe just in the hunt. I don't know. We will see. A lot to improve upon still, but we're going to see if we've corrected any of our mistakes from the first half in this training camp in Portugal, going into Hamburg. We'll be here next Monday night for a podcast with Jack. We also got to do a mid-season review, give out some awards, but really be critical of what we saw in the first half of the season. So that's coming up next week, but that's about it in the news department. There really wasn't much to talk about this week, unless I missed something.